Hello friends, so we're going to continue from section. Over here I have few exercises that I'm just going to quickly run through. As you can see, my drawing, you're going to see this skeleton. Hopefully you know what it means. Yes, so let's turn off the skeleton and let's jump right through it. So over here, we're told to provide the section view, right? So the section view cuts right through there, right? And we're going to present it here. As you can see, I already made a clean view. Just needed to delete that. Yes. So now, first thing first, looking at this, what can we see? Remember, on section view, there must not be any hidden details, right? That's key number one. So we go and look at the hidden details over here. So the hidden details, the circle is already there, which is this one, and it goes all the way through, and behind it you can see there's another circle, which is this circle, right? So when we cut it in half and we're viewing it from the top, obviously we're going to see the circle in half. So meaning that these two must be a solid line, right? And same applies to that circle, right? Also applies to that. Remember, this is how we're cutting it. Let's see. Let's try and make a faint line. Oh, cutting plane. Let's see. This is how it should be. This is our cutting plane. This way it's gonna touch. Should be no, can't be there. It goes all the way through. From there, let's just use isotop. Meaning from there, I could just cut it to anywhere, right? And then I'm gonna come and trim it. So you can only do this if you're having an AutoCAD file. If you don't have an AutoCAD file, then it's gonna be a problem. But this is just to help you understand where the cutting plane will be. So if you can check here, let me just change it to another color because white is going to be confusing. So I'll just make it a phantom line. No, yes, a section line, right? There we go. This is where the cutting plane will be, right? And that's exactly in the middle. And meaning that this whole part is gone, right? So what section means is that everything here, everything there should be gone like that, including the circle. We're gonna open it, split it in half, right? This is what should be remaining. If we connect these loose ends, this is what we should remain with, right? So that's what we're trying to show over here. So we could see that by us doing that, obviously this one again, which is this bottom part, it must be a solid line, including this one already. It's a solid line, but this extent, this one, it should be a solid line, right? And this plane, this edge here, which is that edge, I wasn't supposed to be having it like this. This was supposed to be a solid line, not a hidden detail. Also, this is supposed to be a solid line. All right. Now, what is happening here is there's a rib there. It's more or less like you can check this face, which is this face, but then it's not vertical, it's diagonal. So some lines when a diagonal, they're just gonna appear as one straight line. But we know that this line comes from here to there, which is from here to where to there. And then underneath it or the side of it, this way you're gonna get the diagonal line, which is this part here. So if this part that I'm pointing is underneath, that's how it's gonna look like, right? So meaning that our cutting plane, remember our cutting plane will come and touch here and also come and touch there, which is there, right? So now there goes the big job. We go to hatch. We choose this one, ANSI 131, depending on the region that you're from. And if you can look, now it comes to here. All right, up to here. If we remove this part, now it's not gonna start there, it's gonna end there. So meaning that this face becomes one surface, meaning that if this is exactly in the middle, meaning that from the middle there, I'm gonna have a turn there. All right, I should have a turn where here, exactly there. Now I shouldn't have hedged yet, but it's okay. Over here, I must come and have a line type 1. Now my line type 1 is behind, so I can just go and say color draw order. Color draw order. It allows you to specify which color that you want to be in the forefront, which color you want to be underneath. In this case, I want my white to be in the front, right? You just press C, color, draw, D, order. So that's CDO. You just type CDO and then enter, and then this way you're gonna find the option. Meaning that over here, we no longer have this guy, and this guy will be connected and it's gonna be one surface. I hope I'm clear on that. And then now we can go to our hatch, and then we just go on hatch like that. All right, and like this, we are done with this one. All right, if you left out confused, just comment and let me know. Now let's move on to the second one. Ooh, okay, there's a lot going on here, but nothing to worry about. Let's just go through it again. It says provide the section view. So first thing first, let me just start by switching off this. I was doing it to help me draw the other view, right? So over here also section from the front, meaning that we're gonna show it at the top. All right, now again, you can do this whether you have a paper, whether you're on AutoCAD. You could just quickly go and trace where you must show. It becomes very easy to understand where you are cutting. All right. Now, this shouldn't be there. This should be here. This should be somewhere there. Yes. So you could just come in, do that. All right. For this one, yeah, it is fine. Okay. Now, for this, we're gonna go and section the top, meaning that we're removing everything from the top. Whatever we're gonna be left out with is the one that we show. All right, even the circles cut in half, even there, those ones are cut in half, even that part, oh, and that part, and that part. This is just to give an idea of what we're actually cutting or where we're actually cutting, right? So we're gonna cut this thing open and then we try and connect the whole surface. I think I'm just gonna connect on the last drawing. All right. Okay. So now we're gonna go to fixing the lines. So over here, technically we know that this guy, which is this guy, it goes all the way through, right? Because we are told here that it goes all the way through. So meaning that this guy must be a solid line, all right? And again, now, if we're cutting over here, now meaning that you can see by the size of the circles that the top one is not the same size as the bottom one. So meaning that the top circle, which is this guy, is to be cut. So we must delete it over here. All right, we must delete it. If we delete it, we must come and have a, ooh, okay, let me just go and find that one. This must be joined to that. And this must be joined to that. All right. Okay. Now, cool. This guy, we split it open. Now, if we split it open, meaning that this guy must be a what? It must be a solid line. All right. Because you saw there, we cutting it in half. All right. Now, this guy, which is slightly this part. It is this part actually. So it must be a solid line because now one is cut, meaning that we can see this one from the top, right? Now, meaning that where do we section? Now, meaning that we can section. All right, we go to our hatch line. We choose our hatch, which is a NSI 131. I mean NSI 31. And then this is what we cut. Now, before we can even hatch, I just want to quickly show you something. All right. Now, when you hatch, you must make sure that you do not have a solid line within the hatch. Like the hatch must never have any solid line that is disturbing it because it must just be a one hatch. Okay. So, but what is the solid line that I actually removed? The solid line that I removed was for this part and this part, right? Should I remove it? Think about it. No. Why shouldn't I? Because the cutting plane only touches there, and if you were to complete the section drawing, this isometric, technically we know that the cutting plane should actually go on the inside like that. All right, I'm just gonna keep it there, and yes. And it also comes to the other side. All right, I hope I'm not losing anyone within what I'm doing.